Welcome to another Argument Left, where we cover responses to a variety of conservative arguments, often coming from a left-leaning perspective when we do so. If you've ever discussed abortion with someone who is pro-life, you may have run into this situation before. It has a heartbeat! That's a life! If we draw our line at what has a heartbeat, does that mean you're against killing animals? They have heartbeats. No, of course not! People have emotions and feelings and everything! Dogs can feel and have emotions. Cows can feel and have emotions. There are many creatures in the world that have emotions that aren't given the same rights as us. That's not the same. They just aren't people. Well, a fetus isn't really a person either. No, but it has the potential to be a person, and that potential means it has rights. When it comes to the topic of abortion, discussions always go down many different avenues. One avenue that often reaches a dead end is when someone responds, "Abortion is wrong because you would be getting rid of something that has the potential to be a full human life." Usually when the potentiality argument is brought up, it's centered around when rights should be given. When we talk about the potential for full human life versus actual full human life, we're really talking about whether potential should be given the rights that would be afforded to the actual. Basically, the discussion is whether a potential human life in the womb should be given the same rights as that of full life, because it would otherwise reach that status. This can be a strong argument by the pro-life community, and one that might not have many immediately obvious responses. The way you should try to approach this is by trying to dismantle the logic behind valuing potential as much as the actual. This can be done with a series of examples that, if they followed the same logic, wouldn't make any sense in the real world. Take voting, for instance. We don't give a 15-year-old voting rights even though they are potential voters in the future. We don't let 12-year-olds drive even though they're potential drivers in the future. Medical students can't open their own clinic and act as a physician with full credentials just because they possess the potential to become that. The next examples are geared towards people who hold very specific opinions. Using an argument that hits at their strongly held beliefs might help them see your point better because of their personal investment in that topic. This one can be effective on someone older, especially someone who feels strongly about Social Security. Ask them if they want younger people to be able to receive Social Security checks just because they have the potential to reach that age in the future. Chances are, they won't value potential very much in this scenario. This next example can be effective on someone devoutly religious who doesn't agree with premarital sex. It probably won't be effective on anyone else, so you would want to know whether they're okay with premarital sex first. If you're speaking with someone you know and you're aware that they hold a strong opinion on this, this can be a really good example for them. Ask this person if they would support the ability for a couple who is engaged to have sex. If not, point out that the potential for marriage is inherently connected to the fact that the couple is engaged. If the person you're speaking with doesn't want two people who will be married to do the same things as two people who are actually married, why are they not following the same logic with something that has the potential to become a full human life? Essentially, your entire response will revolve around this central idea. Having the potential to become a full human life in the future doesn't mean we should give that potential the rights of the life it would otherwise become. By using the previous examples, you should have demonstrated that even as fully realized human lives, we are constantly changing over time, and our rights should correspond with our present situation, not our future potential. Anything's present situation should be what determines its rights and whether it has any. To sum it up, an effective way to respond to the potentiality argument is by using real-world examples where this logic would be ridiculous. By pointing out the flaw in the potentiality argument, you have at least dealt with a common pro-life response that they don't often find a lot of pushback to. As always, the person you're speaking with isn't guaranteed to side with you after this, but it's always beneficial to be able to have these kinds of arguments handy. You could sway someone else who might be listening when they may otherwise have been on the fence. You could be challenging the other person with something thought-provoking that they may not have considered before, and this might lead them to move or reconsider their stance over time. You can stand firm against someone who refuses to consider another opinion or viewpoint, at least maintaining your ability to effectively support your own stance. If you have arguments you would like responses to, let me know. I would love more ideas to work from, especially if they can help you in your discussions. Thanks for listening to Another Argument Left.